And we are officially live. What's going on, guys? It's Creator here, back with a new episode of This Week in Wrestling, episode 3. So if you like today's stream, as you can see, I'm not with currently anybody. So I'll just be all me for right now. Hold on, let me mute the stream. This second time this happened. So if you like today's stream, anyway, I don't want to keep doing that. Oh shit, I'm opening Photoshop. See, I'm already screwing up already. This live stream, I'm already screwing up. Open up Photoshop for no reason. A few seconds. Blah blah blah. Hey, what's going on, guys? I already said that. It's Creator here. This is This Week in Wrestling, where I cover everything that happened in the racket world of WWE, and also sometimes anything else that has to do with wrestling or like wrestling. Promotions in general, not just WWE, but my main focus is always WWE, because WWE is my religion. Like you really said it perfectly. This is his religion. This is my religion, basically. The world of WWE is my religion. Wrestling in general is my religion. So that's what we're going to be going over this week, covering everything that happened in the whole week of the WWE. And if something else pops up in there, I will also cover that. We're covering Raw, Smackdown, NXT 205 Live. For you new viewers out there, that's basically what this is. At the end of the broadcast, you see his thumbnail is pretty much sums up what I just said. Cover basically off of that, as well as other things that come to mind. The main goal is this, as always, is to interact with you guys. So for you who are actually watching this, want to comment, or hell, if you want to join the call, because like I said, I'm pretty much by myself today, unless this last minute person comes in meet with me talking. Otherwise, I'm pretty much by myself today. So, besides that, I think we're getting into it right now. Actually, before, I don't know why I forgot about this. Before I forget, let me explain what happened yesterday. You noticed yesterday I did do it this week. I said this week. Creator Talks, but we got a situation. All of a sudden, though, it was only up there for like about an hour. Next thing you know, it got deleted because I am an idiot. When I was trying to add it, because I was doing this on my phone. Now I know never again I will add a video, try to add a video to a playlist to my phone. Basically, what happened was I was trying to add the episode to the Creator Talks playlist so you could have the full list of playlists with the latest episode. What happened was when I try to move the playlist right under it, see, I have an iPhone. I don't know how it's with any other one. I have an iPhone. Basically, what happened was when I tried to add a playlist, I hit the delete button and boom, it doesn't even give me an option to say, "Do you sure you want to delete this?" It just deletes the video. It deleted the whole video. I don't have an extra copy of that. I do now. Every time I do Creator Talks, I'm gonna have to, just in case, I'm gonna have to upload it to my computer, which I have a bunch of room anyways, 2 terabytes. So that's not an issue. But it's just I was not expecting that, but now I guess I had to expect the worst because I was literally not expecting that. I'm so pissed because that was almost 2 hours of me talking. Our video footage was wasted. So I told him he's cool with it. Like I said before, I'm actually gonna redo the episode. So if I don't have a Creator Talk somebody, it's pretty much gonna be a first time ever redo a Creator Talk. So it'll be episode 16 again. But this time we're doing it after WrestleMania. So he's a wrestling fan, so we're gonna go through all the stuff wrestling, WrestleMania, Raw, whatever. I'm gonna go through it all after WrestleMania. So I do have a play Creator Talks for that. So I don't know if there's Creator Talk this week. So I don't know with that, but we're just gonna get started with the show, and whatever happens, happens. Like I said before, you guys comment down below, and just kind of anything involving wrestling, just anything in general. I'll be listening. I'll be looking at my stream play on the other side so I can see what's happening. But we're just gonna get into the news. Let me just look at my notes real quick before we actually get into Raw. Anything interesting before we actually get into Raw. And also, like, you know, unlike last week, remember I had to cut a short catch, go bowling with my friends. I had nothing to do later tonight, so I could be up here as long as I want to. I'm just looking. The news with the Hardys, it's basically a whole trademark situation in Impact Wrestling. Matt Hardy's wife, Jesus Christ. She is just she needs a PR person. Basically, she just talks about everything. Comes from Young Bucks, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, Zack Ryder. He remember, if you guys remember 2012 or 2011, I should say. Zack Ryder had a YouTube show called Z True Long Story. I mean Z True Long Island Story, I believe it was called. Yes, basically just his own show, trying to get himself over, which he eventually did. Eventually let him become the United States champion. Basically, from his own invention, just trying to interact with the fans. He's pretty much. It's funny. He's pretty much. You know, they don't know. They never want to give Zack Ryder credit for this. They never want to give Zack Ryder credit for this. If it wasn't for Zack Ryder, they would not really be engaged in social media as they are right now. I fully believe it was because of Zack Ryder's Z True Long Island story. Is that because of that they realize how much of a benefit social media is. So I think Zack Ryder opened a gateway for that, which, to be honest with you, I think the reason why he's still employed. Oh, I'm surprised they still released him. Not saying that hold on. I heard my phone go off. God damn it, my phone went off. That's all over there. It's probably not important. Is it? I don't know. Hold on, give me a few seconds. Be right back, guys. Great news. I'm not going to be alone. Numskull is going to join me. He just contacted me. I did contact him saying, were you busy? So give me 1 second. Yep. Live right now. Want me to send you the link. So I guess he was looking at the stream. Let me send him the link real quick. But so while he's joining, I just explain my point again. Zack Ryder, what's for Zack Ryder? I personally believe that we will not be engaged in social media as they are right now. So yeah, I officially sent him the link, so we waiting for him to get in the call. But yeah, that's my point. I firmly believe that's the reason why Zack Ryder still has a job in WWE. It wasn't for him doing social media for them. Besides that, that was pretty much it. Basically, my whole point in that was new Z True Long Island story. Comeback story, basically. What's up, Numskull?
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. Me talk to myself makes me pretty insane. When nobody else is here. It makes you insane after I come out. That first episode, I don't know how the hell I did it for 2 hours. 2 hours I was talking to myself. But yeah.
That's what I got. I got 2 hours, so let's.
All right, no problem. So whoa. First off, how you been, Numskull?
I'm good, man. I woke up from a nap 15 minutes ago.
I see. Oh wait, what are you drinking?
What?
No, I was saying, what are you drinking?
Oh,
I've seen that bottle before.
Brisk blue lemonade.
Oh, the tea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I never had a blue lemonade tea before.
It's so good.
So well, before you came out, I was talking about how Zack Ryder debuted his Z True comeback story. I was basically saying how I personally think that because of the original Z True Long Island story, if you remember that what Zack Ryder was doing before, around 2011, 2012.
Right, the whole internet championship thing. Deal,
yeah,
that whole thing.
I think because of that made Davey more engaged in social media before. Because if you think about it, back then, Davey really didn't care about social media as they do right now. But I think after them seeing how successful Zack Ryder was with his fans, how much the fans liked him because of that. That's how I think they got more into social media. But that was just me talking about.
Oh yeah, no, I agree totally. Get more interaction.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going through stuff before I actually get into Raw.
It's all good. Backlash from what we talked about last week. They are not going to do anything to Paige. And
with Paige. Yes. So let's get into that real quick.
The only kind of ripple effect that this had is that they're pushing back Hogan's return. Hogan was rumored to return, still is rumored to return, but it looks like it's not going to be a Mania. I don't know how they're going to have him return. If it's just going to be, on a Legends contract like they usually do, get a couple cheap pops here and there and all that good stuff, or if they were going to have him replace Foley as the Raw general manager, who really
people
knows.
Saying it's Kurt. People, I mean, for the longest, people have been saying it's Kurt Angle because he is actually scheduled. I know you've seen this room. He is actually scheduled for both Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah,
after WrestleMania. So it's
there's a lot of people flying around who it could be, but we won't know until probably after Mania. That Raw after Mania is when they're probably that person.
I mean, I did read on the website they were teasing. I wrote this is a tease. It usually never is. Like they was teasing like the new Raw since they officially said Mick Foley's fired. They're teasing on this Monday on Raw who's gonna be. But I know I highly doubt they'll show the week right before
Mania.
WrestleMania. But then again, once you get into our Raw thing, I was completely wrong about something. I will fully admit to it. And that's involves Triple H Seth Rollins thing. I was completely wrong about it. I didn't think they were gonna actually hold off to the last minute, but they did. So he shocked me.
Yeah, but after seeing all the the couple weeks prior where they were like, yeah, he's 3 times a week. He's really trying to get there to Mania. And it's like the determination. He doesn't want to miss Mania for the second year in a row. No way.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I never doubted he was going to miss WrestleMania. I just didn't think it was going to be an actual match.
Right.
I didn't doubt like he was going to actually be a good. I would just be stupid if he wasn't. But let's get it. Yes, let's go in my notes. Let me just get into Raw as I pull up my notes real quick. Okay, come on. Okay, there you go. My notes, Raw. So we're gonna kick off. So basically, Raw took place. What was the city?
It was Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was at Brooklyn, right?
No, Brooklyn was
for Raw.
Before. I don't know. My days get messed up.
Yeah, I don't know. What is that? All I know is that this Monday's Philadelphia.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
But yeah,
no, it was the Mohegan Sun Arena is where it was, which was. Or no, that was Smackdown. Sorry, I'm going crazy. Yes, you're correct.
Yeah, so it had to be Brooklyn. Yeah, it was Brooklyn because the crowd was great. Yeah,
Smackdown was Mohegan Sun.
So, yeah, it was a little bit more quieter. But no, it's fine. I actually forgot to. I was about to say Philadelphia, my city, but I realized it was this Monday they're gonna be Philadelphia. But just to get back into it, Mick Foley, he kicked off the show basically reading from notes because from basically based on last week, Triple H basically told him, "Yeah, do everything the 70-man tells you to do."
Mm-hmm.
And so he's reading off notes. Basically, he's not really being himself. And then he finds just screw it. He said after like how many years? Well, at 31 years, he gave it all, and now he got to read off of index cards. He said, "I'm sick of this." And then 70-man came out. She basically scolded him as always downplaying him, and just sums it up. He's officially fired. But I think it was before or after that Sami Zayn came out. Or it was after that Sami Zayn also came out. And told Mick Foley basically, I looked up to you, and this is not the way you should go. Like you shouldn't have to take this from Stephanie.
Yeah. He was basically in the ring going face to face with Stephanie, saying like I idolize Mick Foley, and it's because of people like you that that are the problem, and people like Foley that really make the fans like the product.
Yeah, and then eventually that basically after Mick Foley eventually left the arena, or at least left the stage, Sami Zayn told Sami Zayn, "You want to interfere in my business, you're gonna be facing Mojo," and the match started right there. But before we get to the match, how do you feel about the promo segment? I mean, the opening show basically.
The promo was good, and Foley still has really good mic skills after so many years, and like the fact that you could just tell from the get-go it was like being, the puppet was being controlled, and then he throws the cards away, and then you start to get that really heartfelt emotion come out of Foley that he's really good with, without any, any cheap pops or anything like that. Everyone started to get behind him, and then it was kind of a shock just to hear Sami Zayn like come out. You're like, oh, okay, well fuck Sami Zayn coming out for, and then to see him, he like the emotion put behind that entire promo, that whole segment was just huge. Not to mention like the kind of back and forth, like maybe they'll bow down to Stephanie, maybe they won't. And then Foley really just finally being like, you know what, Stephanie, I'm tired of your shit. I'm not going to take shit from you anymore. I've put in my time with this company. I've blood, sweat, and tears in this company, literally.
No, you're right. And I think it's like maybe it's just me like little attention to detail. They could have brought anybody, but they specifically brought out Sami Zayn, not because obviously it's visually leading him facing Joe, but because that was pretty much the first person that Mick Foley really interacted with after pretty much the brand split, saying how he couldn't beat Braun Strowman. And it was like that whole few month arc with that. And eventually, Mick Foley told me like he has faith in you, and he knows you can beat him in 10 minutes, which led to the match at Roadblock. So I'm glad that they brought Sami Zayn out just to tell him like, look, I looked up you. You believed in me when nobody else would.
Yeah.
So that's why, so you should just step down. So I mean, maybe that was just me. Maybe just to have to just be Sami Zayn, but at least it made sense to me why it was Sami Zayn compared to anybody else. I'm surprised it wasn't Roman Reigns. If anything, they probably put Roman Reigns for no reason.
No, because it was more of Sami Zayn just because like that was his almost like Foley's golden boy. Like he gave him so many chance after chance after chance, and it's almost like Foley made it seem like he saw like some of him inside of Sami Zayn, like the never give up attitude.
Yeah. But then we get on to the match between Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn because Samoa Joe, which is again, it's pretty much confirmed at this point. He's basically like the right hand man of Triple H. Pretty much doing his bidding at this point. It was good. No, it was actually a good match. I actually like this match much more better than their match at Fastlane.
Absolutely.
It just seemed like they gave him a little bit more. Yeah, they gave him a little bit more time because Fastlane match was like 9 minutes. They gave him a lot more time. And this match really shows off because again,
it was a good back and forth pull, but it didn't feel like it felt like it could have gone either which way this time. While as the match prior, it was just like, okay, we all know who's gonna win this shit.
Yes, Mojo. Just to me, I feel like what kills it for me, cause like I know for a fact nothing could ever compare to their 2 out of 3 2 out of 3 falls match at NXT. Cause that literally was the whole episode, was just those two fighting. So like obviously they will never replicate that on the main roster. But
well, I mean, and you're looking at guys, and I don't see why they don't do this more. Is getting these guys that have over a decade of experience and have touted through the indies and had some of the have had 5-star indie matches, which is like a hard thing to do in its own right, and made their names as indies like go up against each other more often. These indie guys who've traveled the world have some of the greatest matches that we've seen on WWE to date. At least in the PT era.
It's funny that you bring that up because I've been looking at some people recording live events matches, like the match that they just had in Montreal with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That match was incredible.
Yeah,
but that would never air, and that would never air on TV though. But again,
it's like we said last week. Some of the coolest shit happens at house shows, and it's like, why don't you show this to the world? This is where you will get your ratings from. Which interesting side note. I don't know if you heard this or saw it, but this Monday's Raw was the worst rated Raw since 1997.
Oh shit! And that's right before the Attitude Era.
And that's right.
So
that was right in the heat of the war with with Nitro, and
damn, that's weird too because
it's their worst ratings because not going up against like a major holiday or another event. So like just when it's just Raw, that's like it doesn't have to go up against any like award show or it's not like Memorial Day or something like that. Some holiday. Yeah, they dropped below 3 million viewers in the third hour, which hasn't happened since 1997.
That's crazy. That is actually insane.
And it's not good going into WrestleMania at all.
It's sad because like the Raw after the brand split, Raw has been, even though it's not been better than SmackDown, obviously, but Raw compared to the beginning of 2016 to now, it has been probably the better Raws that we had for like in years.
Yeah,
but the brand after the brand split, but I don't know. I really don't know. It's not because lack of star power, because pretty much they have all the like, at least for the casual fans, the big stars are there.
Yeah,
like they're there.
I don't know if
like
they have different writers or what the deal is, but it just seems like there's not as much put behind things on Raw. SmackDown, you start to get emotionally invested.
Yeah, to be honest with you, and I get it. I think the writers are tired at this. Writing a 3-hour show on a weekly basis is kind of hard.
They could cut it.
Now, I do understand.
It would
I know. Before the brand split, before 2012 at least, Raw was 2 hours and it was perfectly fine.
Yeah,
perfectly fine. Both Raw and SmackDown during the original brand split was pretty fine. Because again, 2 hours. Because I think again NXT executes it perfectly. we don't see Shinsuke Nakamura or Bobby Roode every week on NXT. Bobby Roode didn't appear this weekend at NXT. So
Yeah,
we don't have to keep seeing the same people. It's better. Basically, it makes us want to see more of the character. Oh crap! I didn't get to see him this week. Well, I wonder if he'll be here next week, and that's what makes you tune in.
Right.
They don't have that much overexposure compared to because we know every Raw we're always going to see at least Stephanie McMahon. We're always going to see Roman Reigns. We're always going to see Kevin Owens doing but it's we are I already know what to expect compared to before. Oh, who's going to be on the show tonight? So,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't really know. But basically, Samoa Joe won, and that's pretty much again continuing momentum that Samoa Joe is a monster on Raw. Nobody can really stop him at this point, which brings me to my interesting point. As of right now, I mean, anything could change starting on Monday, but as of right now, neither Samoa Joe nor Sami Zayn is not involved in WrestleMania 33 at all.
No.
What do you think about that?
Samoa Joe,
they have not been.
I get it, but he's going to interfere somewhere in that U.S. title match. They're gonna tote him out somewhere, and it may just leave.
And what do you think about Sami Zayn?
May pull a ripple effect.
Because I doubt
if he
because I doubt. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say if Samoa Joe interferes in that U.S. title match, obviously Sami Zayn's gonna come out and help because they've already kind of halfway established that friendship between Jericho and Zayn as that whole the enemy of my enemy is my friend type deal between Chris Jericho and Sami Zayn, being both ex-best friends of Kevin Owens. And I really think, though, what we're going to end up seeing, somewhere, if it's not at WrestleMania, it's going to be on the Raw after WrestleMania, is we're finally going to see the, whatever they're going to call it, the re-evolution or, Evolution 2.0.
Exactly.
That's going to pop up very, very soon. And we're going to get,
and I think
that with either, a tag team being the last people or, one more person there.
Which might be Finn Balor. Which again, Finn Balor, it's funny because Finn Balor has so many possibilities you can do with this guy. You could bring him back, just be a face like he was, okay. You could bring him back and make him form the Balor Club, which they've been waiting for the longest with Gallows and Anderson. Or you could bring him back and make him form an alliance with Triple H and Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens. But that stay will be unstoppable. Just think about it. You have Triple H, the leader. Yeah. Finn Balor.
I don't think they're going to tout Balor out there, bring him back as heel. He's just too good as a face right now. I still believe they're going to bring up the Revival from NXT. Because the Revival is getting that kind of mentality, oh, we're the top guys. They have that.
It would make sense.
The best attitude that Evolution always kind of had.
And plus they're a great team because I think think about all the matches you can have to Revival with the tag teams here, and they can replicate Raw versus the New Day. We haven't seen that before. Right. Raw versus Gallows and Anderson, which is highly unlikely since they're both heels. But you kind of get my point though.
Yeah,
those types of matches you've yet to see. You can finally see on the main roster. But otherwise, But as right now, Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn, we still know what they're doing, but hopefully we do eventually. But moving on. Backstage, Foley was again talking to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was sad, basically saying, "You're leaving, man." And it's so basically, pretty much, Mick Foley was walking. The funniest thing I found about this, I don't know if you caught that, when Mick Foley was walking past the cruiserweights like Lindsay Dorado and TJ Perry, he slapped Lindsay Dorado.
Really hard.
I was cracking. I was eating food. I would spit out my food. Yo, he slapped him. He literally just he just slapped him in his face. It was hilarious. It really was.
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing to me. But then he saw Bailey. No, he saw Sheamus and Cesaro. Then he saw Chris. Then he saw Bailey, and then she gave him a hug. And then again, how did he not see Triple H is beyond me. Obviously, I know it's suspension of disbelief, but still, Triple H was right in your direction. How did you not see him standing
right there? That was more for a play for the story. Obviously, he's walking down this long aisle, he sees everybody, and
I know he obviously saw Triple H, but I just find that also funny. And then we get to the segment with Seth Rollins with his doctor. He's giving out the Rollins' condition. He's saying Rollins is doing very good in therapy, but he personally thinks it'll take him months to actually fully recover from this. He thinks that if he actually does compete at WrestleMania, he'll just be back in the hospital the next day. What did you think about that segment, though?
You know what? Immediately after I saw it, after last week, I'm like, this is just kayfabe. They're just, they're building this up, and really, it's just another, kind of pseudo speed bump of them being like, oh, he's not going to make it to Mania because, he was re-injured again, which obviously it's all kayfabe. They wouldn't allow him to actually come out and attack Triple H, which is, which is good because you put a certain feeling of realism into it, but still it's like, to the casual fan, they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, he's not going to make it Mania, but to those people like us who dig really deep, it's like, okay, we know this. We know this.
Yeah, because obviously, because like there's no way WWE will waste their time with this story if they know for a fact he won't be there at WrestleMania. Especially like if it was any other pay-per-view, I can understand them doing this, like, okay, whatever. But WrestleMania, just to waste their time knowing that.
And a lot of people are like, well, was he really injured in the first place? Like,
I know it's the whole debate. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I firmly believe he was injured. So much so that they had to change the match with Samoa Joe, make him face Sami Zayn at Fastlane.
Right. Well, because what happens is I look back at the footage when Samoa Joe attacks Seth Rollins, and when he goes for that coquina clutch in the ring, he actually, jumps on Seth Rollins and comes out, and Rollins' leg kind of bends sideways before it comes out, gets kicked out. And you could actually
I did.
You could hear Samoa Joe while he's applying the coquina clutch go on your leg, and you hear Seth Rollins go, yeah. He's like, oh, man, I'm sorry. You can't – you got to really listen to hear it, but – you could hear him say it, but he definitely came down wrong in that right knee, and it was a real injury, but now it's kayfabe injury.
Yeah, they obviously knew, like, okay, after Fastlane, they probably thought, okay, it's not as bad as we thought it was. But how can you implement this in the storyline? Because otherwise, they pretend like it wasn't that bad, it would just kill Samoa Joe's momentum. So they said, screw it, might as well implement it into the storyline better. It worked because it was able to make Triple H appear on TV more, and that was kind of the main issue with this whole story. When the story pretty much first started in like September, when Triple H betrayed Seth Rollins, you didn't see him for months.
Yeah.
Until like January, when Seth Rollins finally decided to go to Triple H at NXT. But otherwise, but now we finally got to see Triple H more. I guarantee if Seth Rollins was perfectly fine, we wouldn't have seen Triple H till like probably the past couple weeks, like the last 2 weeks. We wouldn't have seen Triple H. I don't know why they kept I don't know why they kept Triple H off of TV this long. It didn't make any sense to me. And people forgot about the whole story between Triple H and Seth Rollins anyway, because at that time Seth Rollins was still feuding with Kevin Owens and he was feuding with Chris Jericho. So it's like they made us completely forget about it. Yeah. And then Seth Rollins randomly brought it up one day before the Royal Rumble. I have to face Triple H. Mm-hmm. But moving on, we move on to Charlotte versus the newly faced Dana Brooke, because she obviously turned face after Charles just kept pushing her last week. She had enough. This match was passable. It wasn't. I mean, it was fine. It actually showed Dana Brooke better, like in a better light than what she has been.
Yeah, the problem is how much of that was Charlotte being better or just Dana actually, because. I'm brutally honest, Dana just could use a lot more development. She was really pulled forward really too soon, and she could use some more time in NXT, to be completely honest. She could use some refining for sure.
There's a bunch of people I can think of. Well, top of my head, I can probably go back to NXT.
But I mean, this was filler. It wasn't really anything. It was more of just like, oh, we turned her on her last week, so let's just throw her at her this week.
Which didn't make any sense to me. This was the perfect opportunity for them to bring back Emma, because then you could have saw it. It would have this would have been perfect. Because now think about next week. What's Dana Brooke going to do? Just job to Sasha Banks again, or job to Bayley right before WrestleMania? It's like this is the perfect opportunity to bring back Emma, so you can establish that reconnection between the two. So then right after WrestleMania, you already have a new feud set. Like, whoever's the champion, they can go face now Emma. Or like Dana Brooks, it's like there was so many possibilities they could have done with this segment, but then they just said screw. They're saving all this stuff to Raw after WrestleMania, because again, WrestleMania is pretty and I get that, and that's fair, because WrestleMania is pretty much the end of all the storylines that have been happening for the past year, and they have that start new ones. I get it, but it's like they could have just preset that at least for Dana, but now it just makes it seem like Dana Brooks is like nothing right now.
Yeah, unless they do something where Dana screws Charlotte at WrestleMania.
I can't to be honest with you, I don't think they're gonna do that because I don't think they want to tarnish what happened last year at WrestleMania. Because let's face it,
Flair.
Not only that. Because let's face it, the best match on the card at WrestleMania 32 is pretty much the women's match.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't think they want really any interference. I mean, minus that thing of Ric Flair because he's Ric Flair. I don't think they really want to make people interfere in this match because both women's championships are like multi-man matches, so they're not even 1 versus 1. There's already too many people in there to begin with, and what you call them doing an interference like with Dana Brooke. Again, I know it would basically what the hell is it? Oh, that's my damn it, ambulance. Is lost my train of thought. Basically, if Dana Brooke would interfere, I just to me it just doesn't make any sense. It just wouldn't make any sense for me for Dana Brooke to interfere because like Charlotte just pretty much after defeating like Dana Brooke would have had a reason to interfere. I feel like more with Charlotte.
The match.
Yeah, because since we already did the match, Charlotte was like, okay, I already disposed of you. Now I can just move on to this is my match at WrestleMania. It's just like I feel like this match just never happened to begin with. Like Dana Brooke should just fought, I don't know, Alicia Fox and then it's just okay, now she's a face.
Yeah,
I feel like this match is like this match could have been a pay-per-view match. I'm basically trying to say, and they would have built it up right. This could have been a pay-per-view match because you saw how much they was cheering for Dana Brooke when she turned face anyway. So it was like this had the like potential to become a pay-per-view match, and you just throw it away on TV just like that. But hey. But speaking on the same subject, Stephanie McMahon talked to Bayley, and she said, again, pretty much the whole theme of this, all these backstage saying Stephanie McMahon was going to people who pretty much was like,
who got favors from Foley.
Mick Foley, and just now rectifying those things that Mick Foley did. So for Bayley, she said she'll face Nia Jax again, and Nia Jax should be added to Women's Championship match at WrestleMania, and it will now officially become a fatal 4-way. So let's move on to that. Then we get to probably one of my favorite segments of the show, the highlight reel with Chris Jericho.
Yes.
When he exposed the real Kevin Owens. Yeah,
this is real Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Now I didn't think they'll actually. My biggest thing is I didn't actually think they'll go this way into the storyline. I thought the whole storyline was just said that okay, Chris Jericho was there for Kevin Owens for the whole Universal title run, and then just like that, just because of the one thing, because he felt like he could personally beat Bill Goldberg. He accepted the match for him. I was Kevin Owens and didn't want that. I thought that was just pretty much story, but now they add a new layer to it.
Yeah, now it got personal.
Yeah, I know. Chris Jericho showed a picture of Kevin Owens much more young, and he was posing the Y2J shirt. And he obviously pointed out the woman with the big breasts in the back. I'm surprised they actually did that. They actually showed that photo anyway. I know, I'm surprised.
Yeah, he's got Jericho perched next to me, and then some chesty blonde woman who's not half as good as looking as me.
Pretty interesting. And then he showed a DM conversation between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, where Kevin Owens basically, look, I'm scared, man. They just signed me. I don't know what to do. And Chris Jericho just pretty much giving them some support, saying like, yo, just keep your head up and
yeah.
Just that. And I didn't think they'll add like this much depth to it.
We'll see, and they're continuing to still do this. You know, WWE is really blurring those lines of kayfabe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at this point, they have no choice in this era where everything is pretty much exposed on the internet, just like that. It's like again, we pretty much knew the WrestleMania card, like Royal Rumble, even.
Yeah.
So it's like now, they're in a situation like okay, yeah, exactly. Like so, they're pretty much in a situation. Okay, people already know the matches. How can we make these matches worth watching? Like we got to build to it now.
Yeah,
and it's like, and so far they've been killing it perfectly with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Again, a year ago, if you just said, well, this would be one of the main matches of WrestleMania, I would say no, you'd have been lying. But they build this so perfectly,
right?
With Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens, it's like again, this proves my point again is this should have been for the Universal title.
Absolutely,
it should have. Brock Lesnar, Goldberg never needed the title for that third match. It was sold by itself. The United States title has purpose in this match because again, Kevin Owens' whole point is Kevin Owens said, you took Universal title away from me, now I'm gonna take your title away from you. But it's been added so much layer for the Universal title because that's the title that Chris Jericho allowed Kevin Owens to have for all these months.
Mm-hmm.
once he returned, he would have gotten tired of it, saying, "I want to take that title away from you. I'm going to take the title I could have took from you months ago, but I didn't because our friendship meant more.
Right
now, since it's over, I'm going to take this felt again. This felt like it should have been a universal title, but it's I don't know. I don't know. And again, this United States title match could have been like, again, Sami Zayn or Samoa Joe. This match could have been for United States title because Sami could have been head of the United States title. But it is what it is. I feel like the United States title will be elevated after this match with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. But that's just me. That's just me. Again, we move on to the cruiserweight match between TJ Perkins and Brian Kendrick. Less than 2 minutes?
Something like that, yeah, something real quick.
And it's like, again, this proves my theory. Every week I'm going to say it. All Raw segment, it just pretty much just leaning 205 Live for the cruiserweights. It's just,
it's more of just like, this is what you could have if you
cruiserweight
had the network. That's what they do with the cruiserweights on Raw. It's more of just trying to get the cruiserweights to the general population. And
it's like, again, I get that. I completely understand why they do that. It makes people subscribe next week actually. But then again, it's like, what is their purpose on Raw?
Right.
They're not really doing. Besides that match between Neville and Russo that happened a few weeks ago, the cruiserweight is like, basically, again, this pretty much further. Although I just want to point out, 205 Live, they, in my opinion, had the best two matches of the whole week. In WWE, they had the best two matches, in my opinion, with Tony Nese and TJ Perkins. Then that awesome main event between Neville and Mustafa Ali. Jesus Christ. But there's not talk about that. But this is pretty much the first storyline between Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa, where this didn't make any sense to me. Brian Kendrick felt like he had his passport, Akira Tozawa's passport, so now he can't get into the country, despite the fact that we saw Akira Tozawa the next day. But whatever. It would have worked if the Akira Tozawa didn't show up next day. But I guess.
But it doesn't count because it was on 205 Live. So nobody knows that Tozawa was on 205 Live.
No, fair enough. Fair point. Okay, it'll be funny. It'll be funny if next week or this week of Raw they played off how Akira Tozawa's still not here. It's like, well, what the fuck? It's like
we saw him on 205 Live. Are you? Yeah.
I mean, hey, I don't know. I guess this is something. It could potentially. I mean, I'm not doubting like Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa. The issue with the cruiserweights right now is not that, again, none of them are bad wrestlers. They're great. Their division probably have the best class of wrestlers they have right now in WWE. Almost basically. It's just these storylines are just so stupid. I get that every match needs a story, but for the purpose of the cruiserweight, it's like sometimes you just don't. A simple story like NXT, like where simple stories just make it just all the more better.
Right.
And it's like, again, like I think the best storyline going right now is Neville versus Austin Aries. It's a simple story. Neville went through every single person in the cruiserweight division, and he finally became the cruiserweight champion. The only person he did not actually face was Austin Aries, and then Austin Aries finally got tired of him, and then obviously this is because he was injured.
Right.
Austin Aries got tired of it. He socked him in his face, and he's like, no, you haven't beaten me yet. And simple story. Simple. Get to the point. It's just especially the whole show with Lisa Fox, it's just... But anyway, and then we have backstage show with Roman Reigns. Says he doesn't think about the Undertaker unless he is picturing the Undertaker laying on the mat after losing to him. This is his range, his yard. Roman Reigns. Yeah, that's pretty much sums up Roman Reigns. Essentially, it's just I'm just not looking forward to Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. It's just
no,
especially what I read today about Undertaker's health.
Yeah,
which again we will get to that segment. We are going to dissect that segment at the end of Raw today to get down to the bottom of that. But again, Stephanie again, she went this time Sheamus and Cesaro, basically saying Cesaro and Sheamus, you're going to put your opportunity to compete at WrestleMania
Yeah, it was another one of those like, hey, Foley gave you this opportunity. You're gonna have to prove that you still deserve this opportunity and do your whole tough road again. So Stephanie's basically not only punishing Foley, but anyone who associated with Foley and got a Foley favor from it.
Exactly. Which I mean, again, it's pretty clever when you think about it, because now basically it's like she's like clearing the slate of everything that happened. Like just again, start off pretend like Mick Foley never existed. Which hey, and her character, that's pretty much perfect. I do actually like that. Then we get on to the no disqualification match between Bayley versus Nia Jax. And Nia Jax wins. She gets added to the match and officially becomes the Fatal 4-Way for Raw Women's Championship Wrestlemania.
I said this last week. I was just like, you have such good talent, and then they wanted to throw Nia Jax in there just so you have an even amount of faces versus heels, just so it doesn't seem like they're going to go in there and then Charlotte's going to get double teamed. So now you're basically looking at a 2-on-2 match. And if they do decide to take WrestleMania to turn Sasha Banks heel, then you'll have basically everyone turn on Bayley, basically making it so it's not, her loss. Or, It's really hard to tell what's going to happen, but we do know Sasha's going to turn heel very soon.
But the one thing I do want to point out with this match, no qualification match, the match was enjoying me. I actually enjoyed it. Nia Jax again showing it. It's just the issue I have with this match is that they made a no disqualification match, and then again, despite that win, despite there being no rule, and it's like week after week, Nia Jax is just dominating Bayley, and sometimes I forget Bayley is the Raw Women's Champion. Right? And it's like it's just. Maybe it's just me, but like, has they been showing Bayley in like any type of strong light? Like, not
really. I mean, we think about it, it's like high train of like, oh, I beat Charlotte this many times and I ended her freaking pay-per-view streak, and it's like great, but you're making her lose to Nia Jax, who, and again, it doesn't the female Braun Strowman.
No, but yeah, and it didn't help matters that the only reason why Bayley's a champion is because of Sasha. And the reason why Bayley retained is because of Sasha. So it's like they're making it seem like Bayley is weak.
Right.
Because week after week, any match that Sasha Banks not involved, Bayley's been losing.
I think that's they might use that maybe.
I guess to turn Sasha good. I don't know. It just seems like Bayley. I don't know what they're doing with Bayley. I feel like once they take the title off of Bayley, they might just push her just. I don't know what they're doing. I really don't with Bayley. It's just, I guess WrestleMania would be very interesting. Then we get to a very interesting segment with Michael Cole and Triple H, basically sit down interview where Triple H is reacting to the news that Seth Rollins might not appear at WrestleMania again. But the thing I love about Triple H, he doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit.
He's not like Stephanie.
I know. Well, he was gonna have to acknowledge. Like, the one thing with the crowds are being dicks, do not acknowledge. Just acknowledge it. Because if you don't acknowledge it, they're gonna eventually just stop. Okay, this is not breaking to him. And Triple H just does. He completely ignored it. He was trying to think about. He was still talking normally. He completely ignored it.
Yep.
Did not faze him at all. And that's the one thing I did like, because the CM Punk chance are getting older. I'm sorry. It's just. Again, he's never coming back. I'm sorry.
No, but we all hold that little tiny iota of hope that it might just.
I know, but it's like here's my thing. I get CM Punk was great. He was, but it's just the reason I see he left on bad terms.
Yeah,
it was left the bad. Like he left right after the Royal Rumble, right after like pretty much the start of the Road WrestleMania. It's like it screwed up the whole story. And screwed up. CM Punk is the official cause on all the events that happened with Dan Bryan, was really just led to like again they screwed CM Punk. I don't think they understand how much CM Punk screwed over WWE in terms of their storyline.
Oh yeah,
because the original match WrestleMania 30, Dan Bryan wasn't even involved. He wasn't even involved in it whatsoever. He was gonna face Sheamus or something like that. Again, 3 times in a row in WrestleMania, he's gonna face him, and the Triple H was supposed to face CM Punk. And we do the reaction with Batista is just again they just screwed up the whole storyline.
Right.
So they'll probably never forget him for that. And not only that, they just talk badly about him, and then the doctors, it's just whatever. But moving on from him, we go to the segment. Triple H is basically saying, "Yeah, I put him out from Seth Rollins appearing at WrestleMania. What was it? He officially said that he was basically done with Seth Rollins after this. I mean, after today, he care less what he does. When Triple H walked out on the ring, Michael Cole said, "Well, thank you for your time." And then this was just weird to me. Triple H said, "Wait a minute, maybe there is a way for us to." It's just this segment. I mean, I like the segment because eventually just set up Triple H versus Seth Rollins officially, but just the way it just felt weird to me on TV. It's just the way that Triple H just did this great promo. He leaves, and Michael Cole was about to say something. He just stops. He's like, "You know what? Let's do this instead." But for the past 5 minutes, you're talking about how you're officially done with Seth Rollins. Nothing's going on here. Move on to better things. And he's like, "You know what? Let me just do this real quick." And then we get to the maybe.
But
I don't know.
I put Seth Rollins on the shelf. Now I'm going to end his career. That's what he was playing with. So maybe it was just because that whole kind of promo started out as, and this is where you might not be catching it. It started out as Triple H, the creator, and then when he switched, he became, his destroyer.
You see,
he switched from creator to destroyer, and he's like, you know what? Maybe there is. And then that's when he told him. And he actually went back. I don't know if you remember exactly, but he's using the same kind of verbiage that he said to Seth Rollins himself. He's like, go out there and show him that you're Seth Rollins, that, back when he was the world champion, because he told him that before one of his title matches. He goes, make sure you go out there and you show him that you're Seth Rollins, the WWE champion.
And I think that was the match. I know you talked. That was the match between Dean Ambrose and a ladder match in Money in the Bank, right? Because that was when he was all alone,
right?
And when everybody nobody could come help him. But yeah, I do. Yeah, actually, that's actually a great point. I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That whole personality is creator and destroyer, and then it basically goes to show he can flip that switch really quick. So, but yeah, then he challenged him to the. He said, "Come out next week and sign the what was that? No hold harm contract. So if I do injure you more or end your career, you cannot sue me." Basically, it's basically a way to be like, we're still saying you're kayfabe injured and you want to go out there and say, I can compete no matter what. Because Seth Rollins has always been like, I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to face Triple H at Mania. And Triple H, he said, you know what? Screw it. I'll humor you and end your career. So.
Yep, you're right. So basically that pretty much subtly confirms, if not this Monday, will officially confirm Triple H versus Seth Rollins in a non-sanctioned match at WrestleMania. Again, my only issue is that why wait until the very last second just to introduce this match? Because for the longest, I didn't think that it wasn't going to be a match. It was going to be like an interaction between the two.
Right.
Like a face-off. But it's like, why now a match? I mean, I get it because the more I think about it, I don't think the Goldberg Lesnar match is going to be as long as I think it is going to be.
No, it's going to be a short match.
5 minutes. Yeah, so it's like, I can understand it. So you can have many matches you want because you're pretty much you have an extra 20 minutes on your hands because the main event, which again, we're going to talk about that because that's actually the main title of my show today. It's about the main event. Yeah, so they're going to have a bunch more time with Triple H and Seth Rollins they want to add. So actually, that's actually pretty good. Moving on to the 2-on-4 handicap match between Sheamus and Cesaro, Enzo, Big Cass, Gallows, Carl Anderson. The match technically, it started, but it didn't actually go the way I thought it would go. I kind of saw this happening. Gallows and Anderson, they first attacked Enzo and Cass before the match even started.
Yeah.
Gallows was in the Cass. Then he pulled Gallows off the apron, distract because Anderson was trying to tag Gallows in. But then Cass pulled him off, and Shane was able to hit Anderson with the bro kick. So basically, they said it was less than 2 minutes. It happened.
Yeah, it never came down to an actual 2 versus 4 match, just because like the second she made that match, I was like, they're not gonna fucking work together. Like,
I know, and someone can't. Like, I know it's not in their characters to work, especially with bad guys.
Right.
Despite them technically, the characters kind of technically being heelish, especially after they did Rusev, but that's besides the point. So basically, we still have the triple threat match between Sheamus and Cesaro, Gallows Anderson, and his own Catheter all tag team titles.
Right.
Then we get on probably to the most anticipated part of the show because we thought it probably wasn't going to happen, and they fucking did it. Even though not officially, the New Day showed up on Raw.
Oh my god, dude, I love that so much.
And the opening line, pretty much was the best thing ever. When Vicky said,
"You have something to tell us,"
and he's a yes. We like talk about WrestleMania. Perfect. Oh. It was it was brilliant. You gotta give David credit. They knew, and if they would have brought out New Day, it would have you couldn't bring the crowd back after that.
Oh, yeah,
and they brought out the New Day. So they did it perfectly. They did a backstage segment, which was pre-recorded, obviously. So there's no way like the crowd, and plus if you notice, the crowd got muted a little bit.
Oh, the crowd got muted a lot on Raw. Yeah. There's a lot of heavy, like, if you're on the East Coast, consider yourself lucky because you got to see the real like unedited footage, or the quick on the fly edited footage. Like, I watched both of them. I caught it live here on Monday, and then I caught the unedited East Coast version later. And wow, did they edit a lot out?
Because like they knew what was gonna happen. But actually I do want to pull this out real quick. It's just, again, this for Xavier Woods, this is probably after WrestleMania, he's just gonna die off for him, so he's gonna be under the clear.
Right.
But as for Paige, I realistically, in my heart, cannot see Paige return to a Monday Night Raw and not one person not acknowledge that.
Oh yeah,
this is gonna haunt her it's sad. This is gonna haunt her for the rest of her career. It will be no point where the crowd will not be chanting something related to this. It's just, and that's why it's so hard for me to see Paige coming back. It's just because no matter what they try to do, they can even put her under a mask. It won't work.
Yeah,
it just. I don't know. Paige is just she's screwed.
Done. Yep.
It's just I don't know. But yeah, the way they executed this whole New Day, it was perfect. It was the only way you possibly could have done it, and they did it perfully.
I just do it too. And then there was anything you want to tell us. You know what it was going through everybody's mind.
It was so perfect. Vicky, the way, and especially Vicky's face and Kobe,
they're just looking at like
it was so perfect. That's the perfect way to acknowledge something, but then it also just kill it right, like just nip it in the butt, just kill it right there.
Right.
That one-off acknowledgement, and it was perfect. But moving on to another Cruiserweight segment, which was actually at least a little bit more time, was Austin Aries versus Tony Nese.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Nese, I can potentially see him again getting Cruiserweight championship match actually right after WrestleMania. If Austin Aries win, I can see them starting a feud right there. Tony Nese is very good. It's just, but again, it says he's just sad. He's always the guy to like lose to the current storyline feuders between Rich Swann. He's fighting Rich Swann before he lost because again they had the further storyline with him and Neville. It's like they always using Tony Nese as the scapegoat just to be the guy that the person lose so he can lose.
Yeah.
To help the other guy with the story. It's sad because he's very good. He's basically, I guess he's like the Dolph Ziggler now of the Cruiserweight division where
they're gonna give him a title once and they're just like, all right, cool, you've seen the top of the mountain, now we're gonna put you back somewhere in the middle.
He's very good.
Uh-huh.
Can't say that's enough. He's just So being Austin Aries won again, just further storyline that there actually did something interesting happen. Neville came out right after that. And he basically talked about he's gonna obliterate him. Austin Aries actually made fun of his voice. He had a spot on voice in Neville.
Yeah, that impersonation was perfect.
It was actually very good. Again, I feel like this is gonna steal the match. I mean, this is gonna be match of the night at WrestleMania, in my opinion. Austin
very well could be.
It could. I'm trying to think. Besides, I'm trying to see what would be match of the night. I mean, I think Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho is going to be a good match, but I think in terms of like wrestling,
technicality.
I think Neville and Austin Aries and they need this. They need it for the cruiserweights to put them officially on the map so like the casual fan can actually care. And I think these two are going to do it.
Yep.
But after that, Braun Strowman backstage, and he says if The Undertaker wants to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, he thinks he's gonna have to basically pick him up where he left Roman Reigns in the ring with like a shovel.
Right.
He's basically gonna squash Roman Reigns. And then we actually get to the main event, which is right after that, which is Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns.
It's lackluster. It was lackluster, and this is why your ratings dropped below on that third hour, because nothing really huge happened that third hour. So you had this match that you've seen before.
Yeah, you're right.
That Roman ended Braun's streak or whatever, and Braun's still looking to squash him, and they're just kind of playing off this, and it's almost like Braun is still chasing around Roman, like, oh, I still need to beat you, blah blah blah.
It's just sad because again, it should have ended in DQ at least. If they're gonna give Roman Reigns the victory, but at least technically we know he didn't technically beat Braun Strowman at Fastlane.
Right.
They could have ended it that way, but now we know Roman Reigns can beat Braun Strowman. They should never did it like that. But technically, this match was, at least in this case, the match ended in no contest because The Undertaker appeared right in front of Roman Reigns. And then
right between Strowman and Roman.
Yeah, so he looked behind him. Yeah, and he saw Braun Strowman. He focused his attention back on Roman Reigns before officially turning around. And then let's get into this segment because there's a lot of debate on, there's a lot of theories with this moment.
Yeah,
Undertaker chokeslammed Braun Strowman, and then when Braun Strowman rolled out the ring, Undertaker was on the ropes, and then we get to the part now. Here's the part. Basically, Undertaker, he did like this. How should I describe it? He did like this emotion on his face where he looked like he was in pain. It's debate. Basically, there's two theories going around. The way he showed his face, it was like either he was in pain after he did the choke slam, or in my opinion, what I think it was he basically knew he screwed himself when he choke slammed Braun Strowman because he knew Roman Reigns was right behind him. That's like screw it, and then he turned, and that's Gary knew it was going to happen. There's a lot of debate going on what this was. So what's your take on it?
My take is that he's getting old, man, and it's Braun Strowman's a big guy, and even though a choke slam is a move that's mainly put on the receiver of the move, with the receiver getting a good jump, it's just still you got to help him up a little bit, and just Taker's been doing this since the 80s, man. He's been taking bumps since the 80s, and it's been a long career for him. And he's done a lot, and he's and his body's been through a lot. Oh yeah, his body
again, and it doesn't help matter that his last couple matches were in Hell in a Cell. He had 2 Hell in a Cell matches within the same year. The one against Brock Lesnar and the one against Shane Man. So it's Jesus.
Yep.
And it's so Roman Reigns speared him. And it ended the show with Roman Reigns walking towards the ramp, and the Undertaker obviously did a signature wake up, and then he did his pose.
Yeah.
Raw ends. So what did you think of Raw overall? Did you thought it was a good show, or
it could have been better? This was more of just let's make sure we cement all our matches in stone before WrestleMania and make sure we crossed our T's and dotted our I's. A couple things that caught my attention was, of course, the brilliant New Day promo, just to kind of poke fun at what happened, but not really acknowledge it, but not. The tag team match was, it built up more of that tension, because I'm glad they didn't have it be an actual 2v4, because then you're wait, you got face working heels, that wouldn't make sense. And then lastly, this was a week for promos. The opening segment was great.
You're absolutely right.
Foley backstage was great. Triple H's promo was brilliant, was silently brilliant, even to the point where you were confused on why.
I was confused on
why he did that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was why sudden shift.
They're really good at cutting promos on Raw. I'll give them that, but their matches definitely can use a lot more development.
Yeah, and even Chris Jericho's promo from LA was probably the best promo of them all, because it really add that extra layer.
Yep.
To the feud between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. I mean, again, for me, Raw, it was fine because all we know next, the only official stuff next week is the face-off between Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, and then the contract signed between Triple H and Seth Rollins. Some more promos, basically.
Right.
Again, as I've been saying since the beginning after the brand split, Raw is more storytelling, while SmackDown is more like wrestling based. Essentially, it's like Raw is more they flesh out the story, like they get the story first, wrestling second, SmackDown wrestling second. Story. Well, they actually have a good mixture between the story and the wrestling. Yeah. But I feel like SmackDown executes it better in terms of wrestling matches. Because if you notice, maybe I just want you to. I mean, I don't think you ever. I don't know if you did ever notice. For every time the SmackDown is about to start, I always look at my clock, and that clock be saying like 9:29. I have a whole half an hour of this match. And sometimes those matches going on for almost like minus commercial breaks. Those matches going on like good 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Like when there's the actual match, it's like that's why SmackDown's there for the wrestling. I guess they know. That's just me. But I guess that's a good segue to go actually into SmackDown.
Yes.
So now we go to SmackDown. Opening segment, basically, they had the basically acknowledge what happened last week where AJ Styles attacked Shane McMahon. Then Bryan fired him.
I still hate that they put a fucking camera in that car.
I know it killed it. I know.
That just goes to show you it's kayfabe. You just fucked it up.
I mean, excuse it could have been like the guy was just worried about his car, so he just had a security camera now. I know, but then again, like how the hell they get the footage so quick? I know. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. But then basically started the show with Darren Bryan in the office. He was saying how you're lucky. The AJ Styles appeared. So I guess they pretty much the way he worded it, basically AJ Styles back on the SmackDown roster. I guess.
He's still in the alumni section, so I don't understand.
Which is weird. I know. I know. But Bryan pretty much confirmed that he's based on SmackDown. Because he said the only reason why I didn't fire you basically because Shane. So it's like he basically rehired. Like he wasn't really fired. It's just weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
And then AJ Styles basically said he's gonna be waiting. He's like, oh yeah, Shane Man's gonna show up later tonight. I'm basically waiting back in the same spot for him. Again, just welcome him again. Which I mean, Jesus Christ, Shane Man, how late do you show up to your job?
You're right.
But it's like Jesus, you're in charge of this place.
You show up at hour and a half in. Like
it's like Jesus Christ. But before that, AJ Styles actually went into the ring.
Talking about part-timers, jeez.
And then But so before he actually went into the bar, he actually did cut a promo in the ring, basically saying, basically Shane Man, a match between Shane Man is like, are you serious? Like he will pretty much destroy him,
right?
And basically, and he said, I'm waiting for him out in the parking line. That's pretty much where we knew AJ Styles was gonna be the whole time. Again, it's just the promo. So AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. I mean,
it's not what we want, but it's what we're gonna get, unfortunately.
AJ, I mean, I don't know if you saw it. AJ, they released a interview with AJ Styles talking about this too. And I mean, and I get his point is pretty much perfect. At least you're getting me on WrestleMania. You could have had AJ. We could have seen him in the Battle Royal under John Moore Battle Royal. So it's like at least we're not in that situation. But it also kind of shows too. It's like it's like again it's like they don't believe in AJ Styles that much, which is crazy because again he was pretty much the reason why SmackDown was still above water basically at the brand split. He was the main focus point of SmackDown. He was able, and again that's why SmackDown was so good. But again, it's like seeing those posters. I know those posters don't really mean anything, like the Royal Rumble poster where AJ Styles in the back. And then there's now WrestleMania poster, AJ Styles and Kevin Owens are in the back. It's like, but now it's like it's these posters. I'm looking at posters like again, like it really kind of shows like WWE's real like true faith in these guys that have been doing it for years. They finally got their break here in WWE, but they still don't have that much faith in them to consider getting started. Like, we sure got good old Roman Reigns right in front of that WrestleMania poster. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's just their faith in it's just crazy. AJ Styles is pretty much your best wrestler on the roster right now. He is.
Guaranteed.
Hands down.
Yeah.
But then we get to the first match, which is pretty much the match of the night, essentially. American Alpha versus the Usos for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. Now, the really focused point I want to get to is near the end. When Jey Uso, I don't know, either Jey or Jimmy, I don't know.
I still don't know how they tell the difference, dude. I remember how they used to before the heel turn, like Jimmy would wear a shirt, Jey wouldn't. And that's how they told the difference. And now it's like they're able to tell the difference. I'm like, how?
Because again, they're pretty much wearing the same getup. So it's like, you're right. So basically, I'm getting to pretty much the end. Because the end is the most interesting part.
Mm-hmm.
The Usos, I'm gonna say the Usos just because they did a splash, and then American Alpha kicked out. He kicked out. The crowd turned on him. They turned on American Alpha because for the remainder of the match, every time American Alpha about to hit their big move, the crowd was booing for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, they lost them at the beginning too, because that whole match, it's been a while since we've heard the Uso chant actually come from the crowd, like non-warranted, and that actually.
No, you're right. While them saying ooh, so you're right.
Without them doing it in the ring.
Mm-hmm. At the end, the Usos picked up the video, so they are officially the new SmackDown Live Tag Team Champion, and the crowd, they loved it. And it's like, so it's like, what is your thoughts on that? I'm curious, like, what's your take on it?
Well, they didn't really develop American Alpha as like the tag team division on SmackDown is very, very stale. Really, with only putting these two out there, because I mean, you have good tag teams there, but again, since the fall of since Zack Ryder's injury, or since Rhino and Slater dropped the titles, there's not that many more tag teams on SmackDown with high mid card or main event capabilities. I'm putting it back on the Usos is more of just a way to put it on somebody. This is where I hope it's heading. This is where I hope it's heading, because I still fully believe this, and I want to believe this, is that at WrestleMania they're going to start bitching that they don't have a WrestleMania match, because as we know,
about to bring that out.
The SmackDown tag team titles aren't being defended at WrestleMania.
They are the only active titles that are not at WrestleMania.
But word is, rumor, huge rumor, which I've been following like with a fucking microscope, is that the Broken Hardys will return to WWE. Now, if they return with the broken gimmick is still yet to be seen, because as we know, they're embroiled in a big copyright product battle with Impact Wrestling. But that's what I'm hoping. I think that's why they put it on the Usos, because they want a team with a little bit more experience to have it at WrestleMania. So they're going to pull some open challenge type thing where, anyone who's in the back that wants to face the Usos come out, and then you have Broken Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, a.k.a. Brother Nero, come out, and you just have the craziest WrestleMania moment. Wow. One of the biggest pops ever, because anyone who just vaguely even watches outside of WWE knows that, Broken Matt Hardy is probably one of the best gimmicks out there.
It is. It's the best thing that TNA's probably ever done, at least in their well, it's funny, it wasn't really TNA, it was all Matt Hardy, but it's pretty much, at least I'm going at least in their terms, TNA, that's probably the best thing TNA had in years, or almost a decade, I should say.
Oh yeah. One of the best products they ever put out.
Yeah. It's broken and it works. It's just my whole thing with the SmackDown Live, not even just SmackDown Live tag team division, it's also with the whole tag team division in general. Before the brand split, you had the perfect opportunity to build teams like the Vaudevillains when they just came, they freshly just came out from NXT. They could have built them as these dominant hills, but then after the incident with Enzo, when he almost pretty much got killed, no, that just killed the momentum for the Vaudevillains. So it's now you're on SmackDown. Let's think about it. On SmackDown Live right now, who besides the Usos and I guess American Alpha to an extent, what credible tag teams do we have? Sadly, Ascension, which I love, are nothing. The Vaudevillains are nothing. And it's like, who it's? He said, "Oh, I forgot Breezango." Yeah, I totally forgot Breezango.
Oh, that was a fucking
yeah. So yeah, we're not going to talk about.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah. So yeah, Breezango. They're
a joke.
Yeah, so it's like again, we only have 2 credible tag. That's why we only see them really feuding. Cause it really stuck out at the Elimination Chamber how, again, it was all the teams had to come together. Because again, they don't want to. I guess they don't want to push the whole Usos versus American Alpha match yet at that point, and it kind of really shows too. Because again, before that, the American Alpha was feuding. The Wyatt family, which technically it's a stable, not really a team. It's a stable. But they had to put them just in the division real quick, just to get at least some type of. It's just again, the tag team. Well, SmackDown, at least for SmackDown tag team division, it's just they have a bunch of good teams. But since for years, especially for the Ascension, for years you've been telling us that they were shit. Now with the brand split, that's what we're gonna think that's what they are.
Yeah.
They're just shit. Like they're not credible. So anytime we will see American Alpha versus the Ascension, we all know the Ascension ain't gonna do it. No. Even though in the back of my head, I would think the Ascension would. But again, I just love the Ascension. But it's like we just all know they're not gonna do it. So it's like now they put themselves in a situation where it's like I don't know how can they possibly make them those teams credible. So then we can see like these different feuds. I love to see the Usos versus the Vaudevillains. That should be interesting. That could be interesting. The Usos versus the Ascent. Like all these matches that they have the potential of doing, it's just they can't do it because the matches won't mean nothing. Because we all, in the casual fans' eye, we know those teams are shit. Yeah. At the moment, so it just won't work. But hey, I'm just glad the Usos won because it does bring an interesting scenario. If that rumor is true with the Hardys.
Yeah, the new contract has been brought to the Hardys. Yeah. We just don't know what's going to happen. We really don't.
It also, I mean, to elaborate more on your point, Matt Hardy did actually close down his online store, so that could be another indication as well. A big indication. Right. That might actually happen. Because again, why would you close down your merchandise store that brings in you money?
Yeah.
If something as big as like signing WWE is not going to happen, otherwise that just makes zero sense. Yeah. And then after that, we got a backstage chat with Luke Harper, basically confirming that he'll take on Bray Wyatt on the last Smackdown for WrestleMania, which should be an interesting match. And then we get on to pretty much the best parts of the show. I say parts because it's spanned in 2 parts. We're talking about the Total Bella's bullshit segment.
Oh my god, that was
Maurice and with Maurice and The Miz, and it's like, by God, again, The Miz is probably the best thing.
That was just
anyway. It was so perfect. The whole time. Yeah, it's like he was like, no, the way when Miz got introduced as John Cena, it was too funny. Yeah. The way he moved and it was just.
It was just like my personal favorite part was he's like, that's strike one. Like,
I know it was.
What?
Jeez, and it's again. It just proves my point. It's like if they get buried at WrestleMania, it's just I can't really. It's just John Cena doesn't need to win this. John Cena's John Cena, and this will put a statement because again, John Cena is going to be going after WrestleMania because we all know he's filming something, and I think it's rumored that Nikki Bell's retiring after this anyway, so it's probably to be the last match. This will kill the Miz any momentum that Miz had to be in a potential WWE Championship match to be your next big heel. Because we don't know what the hell is happening to AJ after WrestleMania. So if you need a top heel, I think The Miz is your only option at this point. Yeah. So it's like, because Bray Wyatt at this point, I consider Bray Wyatt like a tweener. He's technically not really a face and heel, and at least in this current story, because he already burned down his house. So we're still not talking about that. But so I don't really consider Bray Wyatt the heel in this situation, at least at this point. But right now, the only fully fledged heels that you have on SmackDown that are credible are The Miz and Baron Corbin. And Baron Corbin's probably being Intercontinental Champion after WrestleMania. So the only person you have left is The Miz. So it's like Miz has to win at WrestleMania. Because then he go right into the title match between either Bray Wyatt or Randy Orton after WrestleMania. Unless they're bringing up Shinsuke Nakamura, which is another story. So it's like, again, but overall, but these segments were just so good. So good with the whole, every time Maurice thought John Cena was going to propose.
Oh yeah,
and especially the best one was the one with the ring, and he actually showed he had a Raw playset ring. Jesus Christ, it was good. Then we get to the next match, which was Baron Corbin versus Randy Orton. Just I guess one of those first time ever matches that they usually have on SmackDown. This further both. Well, Randy Orton's storyline didn't get more developed until after the match, but for Baron Corbin's sake, it was actually a pretty good match though.
Yeah, it definitely didn't make, even though Corbin lost, it didn't make him look weak.
Yeah, not all because Dean Ambrose. You guys know Dean Ambrose actually came out near the end on a forklift to distract. The crowd kind of really didn't help Matt because it was weird. For like 2 minutes, the camera was still focused on Baron Corbin.
Yeah, but you see everybody who's like seated behind our camera.
It's like we can easily see the fans looking in the opposite direction. We know somebody's over there. They either so it's like that made me believe either Dean Ambrose was not supposed to come out at that point, or it's I don't know. It's it was weird. But Dean Ambrose came out and distracted Baron Corbin so Randy Orton could win. Dean Ambrose is getting the ring and said, "Oh, so you want me for the Intercontinental title match? So you got it." He did Dirty Deeds. Baron Corbin walked out, so we officially got at WrestleMania Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin for the Intercontinental title. Now, before we even get to that, I realized something. As of right now, the WrestleMania pre-show is 2 hours. Mm-hmm. We technically have no official confirmation that there's going to be any kickoff show. Sadly, I strongly think this match will be on a kick. If there are a match on kickoff show, this is going to be one of them. It's kind of sad.
One of them's going to be on the kickoff. The one that we know is going to be on the kickoff show is the Cruiserweight ladder match, which I don't know why it has to be a ladder match. So the Cruiserweight ladder match, and I'm pretty sure we are going to see.
I can see the Raw Tag Team Championships being on Cruiserweight. To be honest with you, I could because if Finn Balor, I tell you what, Finn Balor does not get involved in that match. I feel like he could be on a kickoff show. Yeah, because to me, I think like that. I'm thinking of the card. All these matches are it's like they all had the potential to be on the main show, but if I had to pick at least 3 of them, I can see the Intercontinental Championship match with them. Could they just threw it together? Yeah. I can't realistically see them putting it on the main card. They just threw it together. I can see the Raw Tag Team Championship match happening, and then I can also see the if Eva Marie does not come back, I can also see the SmackDown Women's title being on the kickoff. No, show.
I don't think they're going to do that on the kickoff show.
I mean, I don't want them to. To be honest with you, I don't want none of those matches to be on the kickoff show. I have no problem seeing all these on the main card because all these matches, again, the advantage of the Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg match, because we both know it's not going to be that long. You can have these matches. They're going to have enough time for these matches to happen on the main card. Right. So it's I don't know. I just personally fear that Dean Ambrose. I don't want it to, because I feel like they could put on a good match. I just fear that Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin might get put on the kickoff show. And if there are any matches on the kickoff show, at least. But
I actually think they might, in terms of where to put it, they could put the Battle Royal on the pre-show.
Oh yeah, I can see Andre John Moore Battle Royal being on kick. Oh yeah, that didn't even occur to me, because again, I don't think nothing's big happening in it. We only know 4 people. Officially,
they're gonna get like they did last year. They're gonna get a couple, legends out there. Couple, maybe an NXT talent or 2, like maybe Ty Dillinger out there,
or Hideo Itami.
Right?
No, they won't. No. Ty Dillinger, that'll be stupid of them put on kickoff. So that's wasted. That's a wasted opportunity. They'll save him for Monday Night Raw. I can see them saying that for Monday Night Raw if he debuts at all.
Well, I'm not saying waste. Maybe. I mean, because remember last year they brought Baron Corbin out that way, and he won the battle. I'm not saying Ty Dillinger is going to go out there and win it. I'm just saying to get the memorial used as like a way to bring out legends and just to get a couple cheap pops for call up talent.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. I was just saying I can't see if it's on a kickoff show, I can't see Ty Dillinger being on there. At least with Baron Corbin, he was on the main show when that happened. They moved the Battle Royal to the main show. So for Baron Corbin, it actually helped him a lot because actually the main show instead of the kickoff show. But I just think to be honest with you, I don't think Ty Dillinger is going to come up for like another year. I could see him becoming NXT champion before that. That's just me. They should put the belt on him at least because the story is there by Rude still. But again, that's the NXT. But moving back to SmackDown, we had backstage show between first Randy Orton and Renee Young. They were talking about Bray Wyatt, and all of a sudden, the lights go out. Lights kind of come back on. We see a bunch of feet right next to Randy Orton. The camera goes up. We see basically clones of Eric Rowan. That's the only way I can describe it because they was all pretty much wearing Eric Rowan's outfit. So at first I thought Eric Rowan finally came back, but no, it was just people who just dressed up as Eric Rowan, I guess. And they pretty much pretty much was holding Randy Orton, and Bray Wyatt showed up and he had this. Do you know what Bray Wyatt had? I don't.
A lollipop.
What that is?
Big lollipop with an X on it. I don't know what that was.
I don't know what that was. He was chanting some ritual, some words, tongue. I don't know. Again, this is we're getting a darker Bray Wyatt than we ever have seen before. Like he's going from the cult leader to like I don't know what the hell he's going to now. Because he did say he was like it's like you broke me after you
exposed my one flaw, and now my one flaw is my greatest strength. So it's like I mean, but yeah, we're definitely seeing a darker version of Bray Wyatt than we ever have.
I mean, again, this is weird, but the whole Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt thing I'll talk about at the end of the show, kid, that it's about the main point of my title of the show, why I called it that. But moving on, we move on to probably it would have been my most anticipated match. We got Lance Cameron versus Cheddarfield. But Fandango, John Cena with Southpaw Regional Wrestling.
Southpaw Regional Wrestling. That was
Southpaw Regional Wrestling. I've been watching that every day. I kept rewatching every day. Almost. It's just so good to me. It's just so good. But still we got
fucking Breezy Bella.
So we got I know. It was Tyler Breeze, even though again, Tyler Breeze again, he is one of my favorites right now. I mean, just in general, he basically replaced Dolph Ziggler for me, type of character. But it's like, what are you doing, Tyler Breeze? Just, come on, again. I could if they build him up correctly, I could have seen Tyler Breeze in like an Intercontinental title picture right now. But it's like, but anyway, we got Fandango versus John Cena. The match before that, I don't know.
This was typical John Cena. 3 moves. Buried, repeat.
Burying, I know, just has that. And people say Triple H had the shovel. Just come on.
Nope. It was literally running shoulder block, 5 knuckle shuffle, FU, 1, 2, 3.
Literally FU.
Yeah.
To Fandango. And then Hope Matters, and just the worst part to me. And again, it's not because the fact that they're 2 different genders. It's just Nikki Bella easily doing the moves on Tyler Breeze. I got the joke. The joke being that Tyler Breeze trying to act like Nikki Bella, so it's like, okay, if you can do my moves, I got that, but it's like,
why? When he was such a promising NXT talent.
Yes, it's just God. People won't. It's funny. It's so funny to me. Before he talking about how much Tyler Breeze sucked, and like he didn't believe me when I was trying to claim him. I was like, yo, he fought Finn Balor before. He's like, no, you're lying. He didn't believe me.
No, yeah, he was a top.
I had to show him. I had to show him, and I was like, yo, he also fought Juice and Thunder Liger, like a WCW guy. And it's like he didn't believe anything I was telling him about Tyler Breeze.
Yep.
And it's like that's my point. And it's like, come on, WWE. It's just Tyler Breeze has so much potential. I get it. Look, I get it. The more I think of Tyler Breeze like Triple H when he first started. Triple H was doing what the fuck when he's Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's like he didn't really go any. Exactly, and it's like, but the thing is, Todd Bree's gimmick it's I want it is good, but it was good. I guess I gotta admit it was good for NXT.
Yeah, it's not a main roster thing. The chauvinistic selfie,
yeah, like
addicted.
narcissist. Yeah, no, it's just
that doesn't really work.
It's just again, so for right now, the way I'm looking at it for Tyler Breeze, at least he's pretty much the Hunter S. Helmsley. He's in his Hunter S. Helmsley stage, where like they're just doing whatever the fuck with him. Eventually, I guess I know it's going in the right direction when he's in a hog pin match, and then so then I know I was like, okay, baby. So then I was like, okay, I get it. I get the route to go, and I'm liking this. I know what you're going with. He's gonna be a 14-time world champion. I get it, but until I see that shit happen, I don't know. I have zero faith that they're gonna do anything to go. Yeah. But yeah, moving on. We had Becky Lynch versus Carmella with James Ellsworth. Again, this is one of the divas elite. I mean, women. I'm calling them divas. Women. You can't say divas anymore. Women. This match really never started because all the interference, basically. Natalya did a discus clothesline on Carmella basically to make the match become a disqualification. So technically Carmella won. So that's the key note here. Carmella beat Becky Lynch. Technically.
Well,
Well,
it was more of just like let's have this fall apart to really establish the fact that
every single woman, I know. But again, they have yet, which boggles my mind. I don't know, maybe because they forgot or they're doing this on purpose. They have yet to establish the fact on what actual match this is.
I think they're still banking off the fact that it's probably going to be like battle royal over the top rope elimination stuff.
Yeah, but it's like as right now, like they're not clear. Like it could be that. It could be the 6-pack challenge where it's elimination. It's like we don't know what this is.
Yeah.
Like this is the only official match that we have all we know is that it's Alexa Bliss versus the entire SmackDown female roster.
Not to mention, the unknown female superstars. There's a lot of names floating around on who is going to either come back and or surprise entrant.
Yeah, the rumors are like Kelly and like Victoria might be showing.
Kelly, Victoria, Tamina Snuka might be coming back.
Yeah.
There's also talks about Summer Rae and Lita making a Legends appearance. So who knows?
Yeah, but obviously the big one, which we probably all hope is going to be, is Eva Marie. It just makes so much sense just to conclude that.
But she'll be all black.
She did nothing. I know. Yeah, but like she did nothing, and she somehow at WrestleMania, Grand Stage Jamal becomes the SmackDown Women's Champion by doing absolutely nothing. What a story! What a way to end it. Yeah, so let me see. Basically, we have more to say with the Miz and Maurice.
Yeah, Total Bells bullshit.
Yeah, and then we got to the end, which was well. Let me explain what happened. For you guys who are watching, AJ Styles was waiting and outside the parking lot the whole show.
Yeah, I think we got like 4 or 5 cutaways during out that 2 whole hours.
And finally we see a car. And it's Heath Slater and Rhino showing up to their brand show, which is like 10 minutes left. And it's like, how are you guys not fired?
Yeah.
How are you late? How are you late to work?
No, don't you know they had to make like a coffee run for people?
It's like, because then the next thing we know, J-Man was here the whole time apparently because he came out doing his thing, like he's doing that, and it's like he was here the whole time. It's like, how the fuck did nobody notice that? Or obviously just, well, to be fair, the more I think about it, I look back when Darren Brown's talking shit, he's like, oh, okay, I get it. So he already knew what was happening.
Yeah.
So he already knew shit.
I was expecting when he was like, oh, I support you. I like that idea. Or whatever. I thought he was going to
just get out more.
I thought he was going to like sneak attack AJ or something because like he knew he was going to wait for him.
But I thought it was just get out more. That's what he was ending at. I to the whole time I thought what was going to happen. Here's how I saw it play now. A-Shot's waiting. He sees the car. He sees there's 2 cars back to back. One of them has Shane McMahon, and the other one has Shinsuke Nakamura. Shane McMahon will get out the car first. A-Shot's try to tag him, and the other car opens up, and it's Shinsuke Nakamura. That's how I saw it happening, at least. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, no, there's no way they will do that. There's no way.
Yeah, definitely not.
I know that, but that's just me fantasy booking it. But that was just me.
We could only hope.
But basically, we get to the end where basically Shane McMahon's calling out AJ Styles saying, "Hey, I'm right here. Just be a man and just face me face to face." Thing we literally saw AJ Styles coming all the way from the parking lot.
Yeah.
All the way. They literally showed him literally walking to the ring, and it's like, I get that you're trying to run up time, but it's like, come on. It's like, Jesus Christ. They literally, it's like, if it wasn't obvious enough that they was trying to run up time, it's just like they really focused on the fact that he was just walking. I was first thinking somebody was going to attack him from behind or something. That's what I thought. That's why I personally was doing it. And then once he actually got to the gorilla position, I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then AJ Styles came out, and then he was trying to like tell Shane McMahon to calm down, like whatever. Shane McMahon AJ Styles walking to the ring, Shane McMahon just like beat shit out of him, basically.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, like, what do you feel about this segment?
I don't know what the whole thing was where he was at the curtain, but then it looks like he almost like second guesses going out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I like the whole segment, but obviously it was just like Shane McMahon being like, I want to do an elbow drop to the table like I normally do to get a huge pop out of the crowd.
Right? Yeah. Right before WrestleMania.
He does. He gets the holy shit chant because it's still one of the best spots to this day, you know. But
jumping all over there. Yeah, I know it is. It's still a credible sight to see.
But I like the whole kind of build where it seemed like AJ was trying to pull one over and like, I'm just gonna come in, shake your hand, and say I'm sorry. Which obviously, AJ being a heel, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna fool you and then beat the living shit out of you. But Shane obviously knew that was going to happen, so he attacked before he got attacked.
No, wait. Could you repeat all of that? For some reason, at least on my side, that froze. I had no idea what you said. All I heard is that you liked and I heard nothing.
Oh, I was going to say, the fact that, like, it was AJ trying to, like, fool Shane McMahon, being like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to shake your hand and tell you I'm sorry, which obviously Shane knew was BS. And he's like, yeah, he's a heel. I don't trust that. He's just going to come in, shake my hand, and then like beat me up. So Shane attacks him before he gets attacked.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly what happened. And then we end the show with Shane McMahon just pointing at the WrestleMania sign. Still pretty much spreading the storyline between AJ Styles and just Shane McMahon, which I still don't think is going to happen. I personally, my heart believe it won't happen.
I believe Shane McMahon's going to have somebody come out.
Yeah, I just, because it's just...
I think they're playing it off too because we all know that Shinsuke wasn't on the NXT UK poster,
and then they made a video. And then made a video.
They made a video. And they're like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna be there."
Yeah, it's like no bullshit.
You're covering your tracks.
I know bullshit. It was bullshit. Cause the second people like saw that poster and they just put the connections together, like, oh shit, okay, I guess we should just hide that fact. I know, I call bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Like it's like how do you forget first of all, how do they show Aleister Black, who you yet to debut anyway?
Yeah.
At that point, he's still yet to debut. How can you show him but not show pretty much your face of NXT on the poster?
Mm-hmm.
If obviously he's not gonna be there. So why false advertise that? So like that's the point.
Yeah.
So
we'll see if they really just were covering their tracks or if they pushed it back. I wouldn't want to see Shinsuke get pushed back another few months. But
I just think about Shinsuke. Sadly, I kind of already know Shinsuke Nakamura's losing by route. Once he loses, but then again, I mean, I might hold my breath on that because I would expect Samoa Joe to beat Shinsuke Nakamura to take over. Toronto? I was expecting that, but they threw a curveball at me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said it for a few more months, so it's like anything's possible. Anything's possible. I realized, and then one day you guys have been realized that anything's possible. Where we live in an age where Goldberg is the world champion in 2017.
He's about to drop it to Brock Lesnar, and they haven't freaking fully had full matches for months.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we live in that world.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but moving on to 205 Live. It started off the show with Neville backstage segment, basically again promoting his WrestleMania match, but also I do like that to see at least 205 they pay attention to detail. Okay, it was kind of a minor thing, but last week when Neville was doing his promo, Mustafa Ali came out to get his match ready. Obviously Neville looked pissed. So to elaborate more on this, Neville basically said, yeah, he's going to fight Mustafa Ali tonight to show respect. I like that because it was like a one minor thing, but it just, again, it gives Neville's character more depth, like with the fact that he doesn't take shit from none of the cruiserweights. If you disrespect him, like, you're going to get owned for it.
Yeah.
It's like, I like that. At least they pay attention to these because they could have made him fight. They could have fought anybody tonight, but they simply chose Mustafa Ali just because that one little segment. I mean, not even, it wasn't even segment. There's one little thing that happened between that was from. So I actually like that. I did like that part from 205 Live. But moving on to Tony Nese versus TJ Perkins. The match was good. This is. I mean, even though this is not like an official rivalry, they've been technically hinting at a rivalry this whole time between the two. So it's like the first time they fought each other in months. TJ versus Tony Nese. It was a good match. There was a couple of spots that I thought that like the match was. I see the cruiserweights. They're the best thing cruiserweights are known for is like the false finishes.
Mm-hmm.
Most times during this match, I thought the match was gonna be over, but no, not yet. Basically, Nese he tore off the turnbuckle. The middle one, which again, the ref blatantly saw that. Don't know why he didn't say anything to him. He completely ignored it too. And then eventually, TJ Perkins got German suplex. Do the running Nese. Tony Nese wins. That's pretty much it for that. Yeah, this is actually one thing I was interested in see what they were gonna do. Drew Gulak interview with that. yeah, there's a problem with 205 Live, and it's now the Universe Lane. I don't. What do you think they're doing with Drew Gulak? I'm curious.
I don't know. He's just so generic to me.
Right?
I don't know what they're doing with him. They're just so generic.
Now he's in a suit too. Now he's wearing a suit now, so it's like, is he gonna be like the anti-cruiserweight where like he won't be doing none of the flips and shit? But, you know, to me, he wasn't even doing that anyway. But it's like, what is it? What are they doing with him? I don't know. I mean, he's from my set. I mean, he's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, so he's from my city. So that's why I'm interested, since he's from my hometown. I want to really see what he's doing. I don't know.
Yeah, nobody really knows.
Yeah, but then we get to the next match, which is Akira Tozawa versus Jobber. Again, Akira Tozawa, he appeared in the United States right there
without a passport.
So it's like,
yep.
Hell, I don't know. It was again, Akira Tozawa just trashed him in like 5 seconds.
Yeah,
because he tried to attack him German suplex. Akira Tozawa was basically telling Brian afterwards. Akira Tozawa got on mic, said, Brian Kendrick, if you don't come out here, I'm going to come to you. Nothing happened. Akira Tozawa was walking, but as he was walking, the security guard, as we turned out to be Brian Kendrick, he again keep giving him his lessons. I think this is lesson number 8 now, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, looks can be deceiving. Again, I mean, this is a better storyline, in my opinion, than the whole Alicia Fox thing. And the premise of it is that Brian Kendrick is pissed that Akira Tozawa turned him down. So for weeks after weeks after weeks, he's been tormenting Akira Tozawa, basically. So this is which the one thing I find the weirdest about this, that they never still like not re-acknowledged, that Tajiri came back. Mm-hmm. For that one time when Brian Kendrick tried to call Akira Tozawa, you got Tajiri instead. We have not seen Tajiri since. What the fuck?
Well, didn't he get injured?
No. No, that's the point. He returned from his injury. Mm. That's the point. So it's like, what are they doing? Tajiri's back. You have to elaborate on that. Mm. Then we got a backstage segment with Rick Swann, Jack Gallagher. Now, I guess Rick Swan's wearing a suit now. And then Noam Dar came in basically like he knows about the gifts. Obviously, he's hinting the fact that Rick Swan's the one giving the gifts to Alicia Fox. And they're finally going to have a one-on-one match next week until I hope this is the end of the story. This storyline is the prime example of what's wrong with 205 Live. It's stupid. Who gives a shit? The whole point, you see, the cruise again. Maybe it's just because the Cruiserweight Classic put such a high bar with the cruiserweights that they can never top now.
Yeah,
it's just who gives a shit about Alicia Fox? No, again, the only best thing that came out of it is the way Noam Dar says Alicia Fox. Other than that, this whole storyline, like, this does nothing for me. Noam Dar is good. I remember when he first debuted on Raw, it was just it was amazing. The fireworks, I mean, like the explosion when he did his signature thing. It was just now Noam Dar got reduced to. Yeah. I don't know what they're doing. It's just. And this makes me feel like Vince McMahon is running the show, not Triple H. Because Triple H will never let this shit fly.
Right.
I feel like Vince McMahon is more hands-on with 205 Live than Triple H is. It makes me firmly believe that. Because there's no way in hell we would not be seeing this shit from Triple H. Mm-hmm. No way in hell. Triple H should be doing just a simple shit with the storylines. He would be doing the same thing with NXT. And it'll clearly be evident in that, but it's obviously not in 205 Live. Moving on, Austin Aries in his in-ring promo. Again, Austin Aries is probably the funniest person, I think, in all the Cruiserweight division. By basically interviewing himself. Asking basically his own questions. Basically telling, again, Neville, he's not on Neville's level. He's on the A-double level. I like that line. Right. And what, Neville came out? Yeah, Neville came out. And then basically Neville said that Aries is talking himself to an early grave. Aries reminded Neville what happened the last time Neville interrupted him in an interview. Aries called Neville a Debbie Downer, and then the crowd chants to stupid shit sometimes. And you get the whole Debbie Downer shit. It's just, I don't know. I mean, hey, it's something. I give him something. And then we get to probably, again, one of the best matches I've seen on 205 Live recently. Neville versus Mustafa Ali. Jesus Christ, this match was just so hard-hitting. It was everywhere. The two best spots was, what was that? What is it called? The fly thing, whatever. Where Mustafa Ali, he did if you didn't see Mustafa Ali, he was on the ropes with Neville. He was about to do a springboard. He jumped on the top rope. Then he did a
little backflip. Brock, I don't even know what you call it. I forget what it is.
Right, that was amazing. My God. And then when Neville did the German suplex off the top rope. Now, I don't think I've never seen that before. I've seen it on like the second rope, but the top rope.
Yeah.
Ali was able to. That would have killed him. It would have officially killed him.
Yeah.
It would have officially killed him if he didn't flip over at the last second. Then again, Neville obviously got the move for his submission. But he pretty much saying a sign to Austin Aries saying that's him. We in the show with Neville. Austin basically again about WrestleMania, it's over. Again, minus the fact that 205 probably have the worst storylines right now that you read. This match, I'm banging all my monies on this match. This is pretty much the match. You're either gonna make or break the cruiserweights at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And these are probably the best two people that are gonna have to do it for him. It's that's all Austin Aries. I said, I mean, so far storyline, this has probably been the best storyline that they produced for the cruiserweights thus far, because it's simple and to the point, and it's like it's really all up to them.
Yeah,
to pull it off. If they give them time, I just hope they give them enough. Give them at least 15 minutes. Give them at least 15 minutes. I guarantee it'll be amazing.
Yeah, you gotta.
At WrestleMania, give them at least 15 minutes. And it's like I don't even care. I don't care if Neville nor Austin Aries win. Just give them. That's all the cruiserweights ever needed was time, because the Cruiserweight Classic showed that if you give them time, they can tell a story in the ring. Perfect example, Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. I always remember that match, the Cruiserweight match. It was just, again, just give them time. Just give them time. That's all they need.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, I don't. Now we move on to NXT. At least we're going from down to up. opening show with Oni Lorcan versus Andrade Cien Almas.
Mm-hmm.
By God, this was a good match.
It was, and they kind of played it out.
It really was.
Last week, with Andrade kind of doing like being a bully, kind of being like a heel bully against what's his name,
Ho Ho Lun, which again I could have he was on 205 Live, which is weird because I thought he was on 205 Live.
Right.
I don't know what they're doing, but yeah.
So and then Oni Lorcan coming to Ho Ho Lun's, side and he wants to be a bully. Let me teach bully a lesson.
Yep, exactly. It was a very good match. There was a lot of false finishes. I really personally thought Oni Lorcan had it, like he had the match won. Yeah, but Andrade Cien, again, he put out 50. I like at first I didn't like Andrade because he fucked over Ty Dillinger at Takeover the end, but at least the crowd ate him up when they were basically booing him in his debut match. So I like him now as a heel. He would have been better off as a heel anyway. His character, he's just to show off a dick. He's good at it. So I actually personally think if Shinsuke Nakamura does go up to the main roster, just be a perfect opportunity for Andrade. He is technically one of the top. See right now. So it's like this will further help him if Shinsuke leaves. Spy at least turns like charisma. Like if he's built more of his charisma, Andrade can do good. He won the Mexican again. I know Davey loves the whole Mexican audience. I think they have something in Andrade, so this man probably had no problem taking him up to the main roster eventually. I would not be shocked if Andrade comes up. I would not be shocked if Andrade comes up after WrestleMania. I would not personally be shocked. I mean, that's not one of the people I'm thinking, but I would not personally be shocked if that happens.
Right.
Next, we move on to the NXT Women's Champion Asuka versus I don't even know how to pronounce her fucking name.
Priscilla.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. She's a jobber.
Yeah.
Totally
and again, annihilates her.
Mm-hmm.
But before the match, the one thing to point out is that she grabbed and said, "Ember Moon, this is your fate."
Yep.
And she just completely dominates her. She had Asuka locked in. Asuka lock in. She wouldn't obviously chat that, but she wouldn't let go for like a couple more seconds.
Yeah. And
then obviously Asuka she grabbed the microphone again. At the end, she was saying some stuff in Japanese. But the only thing that we know that she said is that the eclipse. No, we basically say that Asuka will not get hit by the eclipse at Takeover San Antonio. Now before this, one thing I do want to point out, the announcers, which makes me believe, sadly, Asuka reign is over. They kept saying, if Ember Moon hits the eclipse, it's over. And they even showed a tweet with Liz Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
So I got hit with the eclipse. And they even played up. They even played up more with Billie Kay getting injured by eclipse too. It's like we all know how this is gonna play out. Then it's just again, Asuka's reign is over, and it is sad because if she would have held on for 2 more weeks after Takeover, she would officially become the longest reigning NXT champion in history of all 3 titles that they had. She would officially become the longest reigning, and she just had to hold on for 2 more weeks after Takeover, and it's not going to happen. It sadly ends right here. So, I'm not denying now. Again, I'm not denying it will be a good. It will probably be a good match, but it's just sad because I would like at least Asuka before she goes to the main roster, at least had that accolade of being the longest reigning. I'm sure he has the accolade of the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion, the longest reigning NXT Singles Champion, but it had the accolade of the longest reigning NXT Champion in general. That's a huge accolade that nobody only but her deserves. But again, that's his first storyline between Asuka versus Takeover San Antonio. Then we get on the backstage segment, which we pretty much saw on YouTube. They consider this happened. It's weird. It's weird how NXT does stuff because this match was taped way before all the other stuff that we just saw. He catches Ono and Elias Sampson. Because next week we get catch Ono and Elias Sampson. Whoever loses leaves NXT. But this was one of the first few matches taped with the whole tapings. So it's I just find it weird how NXT shows what it's weird to me. So we get that next week, and then we also know they promos. Aleister Black finally will make his debut at TakeOver, and he'll face Andrade. That should be very interesting. I'm so hyped to see Aleister Black. After seeing him on the UK tour when he fought Neville, just like his gestures, his movements, it's just so glad. The real question is going to be a face or heel after this. I don't know. Obviously, he's going in as a face, but obviously with Andrade, that could change just like that. So, yeah. And then we get to the main event, which is No Way Jose, Roger Strong, Todd Dillinger versus Sanity. The match kind of picked up, but then ended in disqualification, I believe.
I don't know. They're doing so the match itself was going pretty strong, and obviously the numbers game still catches up with that because Nikki Cross just feels the need to insert herself always into something. She always needs to insert herself somehow into a Sanity match, and it finally looks like we're going to get the answer to that because towards the end of the match, it looked like Ty Dillinger, because it was down to Ty Dillinger and Eric Young in the ring. Yeah. And it looked like Dillinger was about to close the books, and he pulls down his knee pad or whatever, and then Nikki Cross comes in the ring and jumps on Ty Dillinger's back. And then Heidi Lovelace, aka Ruby Riott, on the indie she was Heidi Lovelace. In NXT, she's obviously Ruby Riott. Debuted, pulled Nikki Cross off, started beating her up, and then all chaos breaks loose. It ends up with, the faces being in the ring, clearing out Sanity.
Like they finally had the numbers advantages even now.
Yeah, which it looks like it's setting up a 4v4 match at TakeOver between Sanity versus Roderick Strong, Ty Dillinger, No Way Jose, and Ruby Riott. Which is good.
Well, the one thing I do like about this, though, is that besides that match, we only have 5 matches at TakeOver, so these matches are gonna be pretty quite lengthy. Like they're gonna be good in length, so it gives them at least all of them enough time. Especially when my most anticipated match. I mean, what is your most anticipated match for TakeOver?
Well, I'm actually going for Rude versus Shinsuke. Obviously, I know it's not going to end with Shinsuke getting the title put back on him because that's not going to happen. 2 very good fighters who have a lot of experience. Again, that it's probably going to steal the show. And depending on how, I'd like to see that 4v4 match, just because it's really knowing how Heidi Lovelace performed in the Indies. It'd be really interesting to see how she works with Nikki Cross.
For me, at least, the one I'm looking forward to is the tag team match. Only because it can go either way. I can see the rival. Yeah, I can. It can go either way.
It really can. You have 3 good teams that all deserve to be champions,
and it's eliminations too. So it's eliminations. So I won't end on 1 pinfall. I have to end on 2. So it should be very interesting. It's just this could be the revival's time to finally go where they could become a 3-time NXT.
I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to tout them out on Raw. As much as it'd be great to see Revival, they've been slowly kind of weaning Revival off NXT and really building them up to hit main roster, which I still think they're going to be part of the new evolution.
Yeah, it would make sense too. Like pretty much like the 4 Horsemen at least. Samoa Joe, then you have Samoa Joe,
Kevin Owens.
So that's the singles competitor. You have the tag team. With the Revival. So think about how good of a team that's going to be.
Yep. Just run it like Evolution used to earlier.
Right? And they will just dominate Raw. And
because you have that same kind of I think you have that same dynamic. You have the veteran almost kind of not really fighting but pulling the strings. So Triple H is your new Ric Flair. You have Kevin Owens being your new Triple H, Samoa Joe being your Batista, and then you have a tag team, basically.
Yep.
That dynamic.
You're right.
You have a young element, an established champion element, you have a wild card element, and then you have a veteran pulling the strings.
It's perfect. And if they add Finn Balor to it, he could be like the Randy Orton one when eventually we all know he's just going to.
I don't think.
That's just me if they do add Finn Balor, but.
I don't think they're going to. I think they'd much rather have him be part of the Balor Club with Gallows and Anderson if they decide to go that route, because it's still very possible
because I know
Well, it's very possible that after Mania, they're still gonna trade AJ over to Raw.
And the whole Finn Balor versus AJ.
You know,
for the Balor. Yo, that could be an interesting story. AJ versus Balor, and then the whole Balor Club situation. I mean, Bullet Club situation.
Yeah, because you remember when Balor was, healthy, the club was, the heels, and they were there, and they did that kind of like cheap pop at SummerSlam where they're like,
I know, yeah,
in the same room together.
They hinted that they all hinted. I know, and it's like, it's so many pop. The only person, again, maybe this is just looking at it from a marketing standpoint. The only reason why I think they said do Balor Club because on Day We Shop, they just released his new Balor Club replica jacket. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why even do that? And plus, they still, even though it's from NXT, they still have his Balor Club shirts.
Mm-hmm.
They still have them there.
I have that shirt.
And it's like, why? That's my point. It's like, why even still keep promoting it, basically? Because even during Finn Balor entrance, even during his live events, it still says Balor Club.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I get the whole, he has two different personas, his Balor Club persona and his Dean persona, but still, why still promote Balor Club if it's not gonna happen?
Yeah,
that's just me, but I think it's gonna happen. But yeah, but I know we're about to close the show, but before we close today's show, I just want to get to my whole main point, the title. If you see the title of my video, I don't know what the title is. I forgot. Is what should be the main event of WrestleMania? Basically, we have two world title matches: the Raw Universal title match between Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, and we have the WWE title match between Randy Orton versus
Bray
Wyatt. Now, Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble match. Throughout history, even though sometimes he never applied it, the winner of the Royal Rumble match is supposed to main event WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because of politics, more than likely the last match on the show is going to be Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, which just because they think that's the most high profile match, and I won't deny that it might be, but that's besides my point. The whole point to me is just tradition. Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble match. If they wanted Brock Lesnar Goldberg to go on last, they could have made either Brock Lesnar Goldberg or Brock Lesnar Goldberg win the Royal Rumble, and then make obviously whoever that other person beat Kevin Owens at Fastlane, and it would have been the main event. But it's like they didn't go that route. Right. They decided to go Randy Orton instead, and so it's like maybe just personally to me, because again, it could have. I say it like this: Tyson could have won the fucking Royal Rumble match for all I cared. If he won the Royal Rumble match, he earned that right to be on the last match of WrestleMania. Again, this speaking as a fan wise, obviously I know there's more to it than that, but as a fan, he earned that right to main event WrestleMania. Because that's the whole point of a Rumble match. Otherwise, they should just change to the Royal Rumble. Winner of a Rumble just gets the championship match of WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't say it like that. They will say, well, main event WrestleMania. And now I know the term main event is there's a bunch of it has different meanings. Main event is one of the marquee matches, doesn't necessarily mean the last match on the show. I get that, but personally to me, I feel like Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton should main event WrestleMania. It should be the last match on the show, regardless of how the match ends or whatever, just because, again, those guys I feel like, to be honest, they put in the most work into this compared to Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, because this feud been going on since early September, and they was able to somehow make it last all the way to the end.
Yeah.
While Goldberg and Brock Lesnar didn't really happen until near the end of November. And again, but people fail to forget, the only reason why Goldberg is here is because 2K17. But they somehow turned this into the potential main event of WrestleMania. That's besides the point. I want to get your take on it. Do you feel? Or basically, what in your opinion? What's your main WrestleMania? The Universal title match or WWE title match?
WWE title match. You've gone for 33 years, or well, not 30, whatever it is, almost 30 years of whoever wins the Rumble gets the main event of Mania. Period.
Mm-hmm.
But now, because you want this whole fantasy warfare where Goldberg has now won twice out of 3, so I see it as even if Lesnar wins, you still lost you may have won the battle, but you lost the war. You already lost twice. There's no unless you're going to do this best of 7 crap, which I don't, or best of 5 or whatever. Really what it is, it's a bunch of fluff. It's more of like, let's make this seem like it's greater than it actually is. I mean, this has happened before. This happened, back, 13 years ago?
Yep.
Right? And Austin was the ref.
And it worked.
It was the worst main event in WrestleMania history. Period. Like, it's proven that it's one of the worst ever. So why do it again? B, why break your, decades old tradition of having whoever wins the Royal Rumble, main event Mania. Not to mention the big whole clusterfuck that is the main, that is the Smackdown or the WWE Championship. Between it was like, okay, Orton won, cool, but he doesn't want to do it. Okay, so we're gonna have AJ and Harper go at it. Okay, cool, AJ won, so he's gonna main event Mania, which I would have been extremely happy with, because that Elimination Chamber match was amazing.
Probably one of the best matches we had.
Bray Wyatt go against AJ Styles would have been great. That would have been a great match. But then you're like, well, wait, let's put the title back on Orton, so let's have him turn on Bray Wyatt. And I get you had to nobody really believed that
Randy Orton,
Orton was really a true Wyatt family member. We all knew it was like his persona has always been like, get in deep and then screw him over. But
yeah, and it's like I know. The whole SmackDown, the build up to this, up until near the end, it was the whole, between Randy Orton, the rivalry between Randy and Bray Wyatt was kind of like it was rocky to begin with, because the only reason why Bray Wyatt went after him because he felt like he was weak now since he lost to Brock Lesnar so easily, right? But then just morphed into now this, where it's like now Randy Orton just getting revenge. But think about it, when you really think about it in the long run, what exactly is Randy Orton getting his revenge on? Bray Wyatt technically didn't do anything that no other superstar hasn't done already, which is just beat him. Yeah. But Randy Orton took it to a personally new level of that by burning down the man's house and his quote-unquote sister. Right. So it's like this whole story itself is like it got way out there.
Yeah, it's just too way much. Out there. Yeah, in all honesty,
it's
So period, no matter what, it should be.
Back to the point. It should main event still WrestleMania, right? Even if I know, I know I get it from a marketing standpoint. Which one sounds more marketable to a casual fan? Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, or Brock Lesnar and Goldberg? Obviously, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, because their names alone mean something to a regular fan. You got Goldberg, who the hardcore fans will know from the WCW days. So people who haven't been watching wrestling in years, but they know who the hell Goldberg is because he was in that boom period. Yeah. And then you got Brock Lesnar, who was in UFC. So you got those fans who knew from UFC, and then you also know who's the guy who beat The Undertaker in his streak. So you also got them as well. So it's like, I get it. Marketing wise, obviously it makes the most sense to promote this as your main event, which is fine. It is a main event. Yeah. But don't let this be the last match. That's what I'm asking. Because I'm trying to picture this. We all know the Goldberg Brock Lesnar match is not going to be probably longer than. I'll give them 10 minutes. I give
them 5. Yeah, I'm going to be super salty about that. I give them 5. Both of them are just. It's painful.
Yeah, and it's like, think about it. Can you really picture? Even though last year, despite the crowd reaction, WrestleMania ended on a good note with the face Roman Reigns overtopping Triple H at WrestleMania come WWE Champion. Despite the crowd reaction, let's take that out of the equation for a second. Okay. Ended on a good note. I can't picture Brock Lesnar being Goldberg and it just ends with just Brock Lesnar holding tight as it's like this, it's like he finally overcame the odds. Whereas in reality, it's like, what odds did he really have? Sure, he couldn't beat Goldberg, but it's like Brock Lesnar really, that's not that was his issue. The only issue with Brock Lesnar, he just kept Brock Lesnar just kept being cocky. That's all it was. It wasn't because he overcame his feat. They couldn't. It's just compared to Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, where it's like, you have so many possibilities this could end up with.
Yeah.
With Bray Wyatt, like getting his retribution, like for getting Randy Orton taking the thing that meant the most to him was Sister Abigail, or just Randy Orton just getting his revenge for being like, well, Randy, to be fair, Randy Orton, he's just doing this because he's a psychopath. Because again, you burned down a man's house just because he beat you once. Right. No, again, let's put this in perspective for a second. Randy Orton joined the Wyatt family just because Bray Wyatt beat him once.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, because he was so mad about that, he joined him, became a tag team with him, became tag team champions with him, broke up his band with Luke Harper at this point, just to get back at him. Jesus Christ, Randy Orton, you have reached a new level, in my opinion. Because like John Cena, but for God's sake, John Cena beat you so many times. How come you wasn't a team with him? How many times John Cena beat you? This was weird, but again, I feel like this would be more break. I just can't picture Wrestlemania ending on Brock Lesnar just holding Universal title and it's over. I just can't picture that. Unless just again, like, unless like Shinsuke Nakamura comes out or something, just have sterile. But it's like I just can't picture that.
Yeah, it's I don't understand either. It's baffling to me why they're gonna do this. Like, it didn't work before. Why is it gonna work again? This whole fantasy warfare is a bunch of just bloated crap.
It's sad. I mean, I blame. Now again, I will give credit where credit is due. WWE does something at Survivor Series that I didn't think they would ever actually do. They literally threw the biggest curveball I have ever seen them throw before with Goldberg beating Brock Lesnar. Not only that, but just the way he beat him. I'll give him that. But the fact that they like riding on this for months now, and again, I don't. It's like. Do you think Brock Lesnar's gonna get cheered for this as like the triumphant face, even though he's not the face in this situation?
Yeah.
Because again, I'm comparing WrestleMania 32. Despite the fan reaction, Roman Reigns was the face in this situation. So it's like, I just don't know. It's just weird. Again, but to summarize, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt should remain in WrestleMania. Despite, even though they're not as big a names as Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton he earned that right to be in the last match of WrestleMania, and Bray Wyatt earned that right to be the last entrance of the show, to close the show with them being champion. That's just me. I just don't think Brock Lesnar and Goldberg deserve it. Because again, they're already taking the spotlight off of the rest of the card because that's what they're promoting the most. If you go on WWE, if you go on WWE.com, you go on WWE Network, the subscriber, they say you should subscribe now in the big poster, not even the WrestleMania poster. It's just Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. That's what makes me believe this is the main event. It's like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's with that, I think we call it quits tonight. Again, Numskull, want to thank you for coming on because
talking to yourself
for 2 hours. Yep. I might even talk to the wall. So it just gets weird. I do thank you for coming on. Now I think about it, next week is Takeover. It starts at 8:00
on Saturday.
So I might have to do this pod. It's good because I just get off earlier than usual on Saturday at work. So what I might do is start this a little. Like I might start like around 3.
I unfortunately will be out of town, so I won't be able to join you.
Yeah, no problem. But, it's just I might. Yeah, so that's just more I think about it. I might start this podcast early. Now I think about it. It's 7 in an hour. No way. No fucking way. Especially as to take up. No way. So I might do it early, but yeah. But otherwise, anything you want to plug Numskull before you head off the air?
No, I'm good. I mean, I plugged my Twitch last week. I can do it again. Twitch.tv/Numskullgaming every weekday morning and sometimes on the weekends. And
again, his Twitch and his YouTube would be in the channel description.
Yeah, and that's about it.
Yep. All right. Otherwise, guys, thank you guys for watching. This is Crater signing off. Catch you guys later.